Hello everyone, you may call me Twilight Dusk, and this is XCOM Enemy Unknown. I'm going to be starting a new game, and I'm going to be playing it through here for you guys. There's 4 difficulty modes. I haven't beaten the game myself yet, so I'm still sticking to normal. I do, however, insist on playing with Iron Man on. And the tutorials get really annoying, so I'm not going to be playing through the tutorials. So, with that, let's get this started. I absolutely love that quote, by the way. Aside from the fact that the impacts will be a lot more forceful than that, this is actually pretty much what would happen if something like this happened in the real world. Everyone just going like, ooh, what is it then? Ah, it's releasing green light!
In light of the recent extraterrestrial incursion, this Council of Nations has convened to approve the activation of the XCOM project. You have been chosen to lead this initiative.
I have?
To oversee our first and last line of defense. Your efforts will have considerable influence on this planet's future. We urge you to keep that in mind as you proceed.
So, what kind of pay does that kind of job get? Yeah, I'm just trying to keep my options open.
Good luck, Commander.
Right then, since this is... if I was playing with tutorials on, you'd actually only be allowed to choose between North America and Europe for your base, which I find kind of dumb, but whatever. So since I'm not playing, I can choose any of the nations. And I think the reason why you're sort of limited to North America and Europe for the initial is because really those are the two that are the easiest for a newbie to use. They're the two that are directly the most beneficial. I mean, Africa, having extra income sounds nice, but it's not that hard to get it, because Africa only has 2 member nations, so they only need to send up 2 satellites. And, like, these bonuses here, if you have full satellite coverage of a continent, you get the bonus. So, you generally want to pick someplace like Europe where there's 4 nations in it, so it would take a lot longer to get full satellite coverage. And that's exactly where I'm going to go with, actually, Europe.
The next deployment site is in the UK. We've picked up a local broadcast indicating alien activity within a major metropolitan area. We should get down there and eliminate any hostiles.
Right, so if I was playing the tutorial, I'd actually be selecting where my base is after this first mission, and the first mission would be a lot more scripted than it is. I've played this a few times. I put on Iron Man mode. I have failed several times already. Each time, if you're not playing the tutorial...
This is Central. You are free to engage all hostile contacts in the AO. Don't take any chances.
If you're not playing the tutorial, then this is pretty much just an easy-ish difficulty mission. I think there's still only 4 sectoid aliens that you end up fighting. I guess those who don't know what the game is really don't know what I mean when I say that, but you'll see soon enough. There's only 4 enemies on this map, I believe, but you get a random map, and they don't behave in the sort of scripted way they do in the tutorial. Right, so I should probably describe what I'm doing here. Obviously I can select my units to move around. Every unit gets 2 actions in a turn. You can move and then do something, or you can move twice. In most cases, like if there's an alien there and I just had this guy fire, you cannot fire and then shoot, except for a few special cases, which we'll get to later on. So for now, I'm just moving my people up into cover. And then, since I can't see anything, I'm activating Overwatch mode, which, if an alien moves into their line of sight, they'll take a pot shot at it. Not as accurate as normal fire, but if you have everyone on Overwatch, accuracy doesn't matter so much. And hey, it's a free attack. Of course, if you can't get to cover within that one move, it can be worth it sometimes to just have someone dash ahead while the others stay back to cover them.
We're witnessing something never before seen in recorded history.
And it actually appears that they have not... I've spotted them without them spotting me. That's a pretty rare occurrence, really. Unfortunately, the guy who can see them is just used up all of his motion, so he can't actually do anything about them this turn. But I can move everyone else up to be in a good range to get at them next turn. I guess I don't want to risk alerting them though, so I guess I'll just keep you here for now. You guys over there move at all? No? Okay, he can see them, but he apparently does not have line of fire. I bet if I move here, they're gonna notice me and they're gonna scatter. Well, let's see what happens. Yep. In most circumstances, if you can fire at them, they can see you. Again, there are exceptions, which I'll get to later on. Now, let's see, 45% chance to hit. I guess I'll take that. No reason not to, really. Can you fire at them from there? Apparently not. Let's cover there. You can see them from there, apparently. I guess I have no choice but to move people up a bit quickly. This is a lot riskier than I'd like, but this map is not doing me any favors with the cover. Little corridors like this are a pain to navigate the camera through. I don't believe I've actually ever encountered this map before, which is a little surprising to me because I've started to recognize the reuse of maps as I've been playing, but this one is... I haven't seen this one before. So, if, ooh. Okay, he's fine. Just took a little damage. But, if this map's gonna require me to advance further in, which it will, because I only see 2 dudes right now, and I am sure that there's 4 dudes, I am going in completely blind. Like, I don't even know what the lay of the land's gonna look like. So that's exciting for me. Alright. Okay, so what was happening there is those aliens
as... appear to self-destruct when the operator dies. We should look closely for any fragments that could be salvaged for our own development programs.
Okay, those aliens are called sectoids. They're the pretty weakest aliens in the game. What they can do, though, is they can do like a little mental link with each other, so one of them is giving power to the other. But the thing is, if the one that's giving power dies while they're doing that, it fries the brain of the one who's receiving power. So if you kill the one who's giving power, then the powered-up one dies as a result.
Got something over here.
And there's the other two. And they're skittering into cover. Alright, let's try to move our dudes up into cover.
What was that?
If you can't see any aliens, then occasionally you'll hear them like that, and you'll get a little wave of sound telling you like what general direction they're in. Obviously, like, if you're in a situation where like, yeah, I just saw them, it's not that helpful, but if you're like searching around and you're not sure where the enemy's going to come from, and it's been a few turns since you've had contact, it can be pretty helpful to try to figure out which direction you should generally be going. New advanced dudes, can you fire at him? Apparently not, so you go into Overwatch. If he comes into range, fire. And they're doing their mental link. One of the effects of the mental link is that it gives extra HP, like you just see there. It had 1 out of 3 left before, and now it has 2 out of 4 left. And now it's on Overwatch, so it's saying... So if I move into its line of sight, it's gonna take a pot shot at me, so... I always get ridiculously paranoid when they do that, because I'm not sure if I'm moving into their line of sight or not. Well, let's see what happens. And... yeah, I moved into its line of sight. And I took 3 damage. He's gonna need some time to medbay later. Well, let's see if I can do the damage back. That did it. Okay, so now there's just the dude who was giving him power left. The game, as you just saw, I mean, my dude's got a bit lucky with the damage, but like, this guy took 3 damage out of the 6 HP he has. One more hit like that and he's dead. And since this is Iron Man mode, there's no saving, reloading to make sure that all of my troops come out of it alive. Which is one of the reasons I actually like doing Iron Man mode, because it gives a lot more weight to things. It gives a lot more permanence to things. I actually have to know how to play the game well instead of just being able to blindly do things. And I shot at him through a wall, apparently.
The labs are on high alert. Teams are standing by for your orders. We can begin researching the newly recovered artifacts immediately.
I love this game, by the way, but I do recognize that there are a few issues with it, and one of them is that shooting through walls sort of thing. I'm given to believe it has to do with the way the game calculates cover. It takes into account the squares surrounding you and the opponent, as well as the square they're in. So it's like if a square next to you could hit a square next to your opponent, then you have a hit penalty, but you can still make the shot. But the combat animations don't take that into account. It still treats it as you where you are firing at the enemy where they are, and it doesn't care if you have a wall of impenetrium between the two of you. Anyway, let's get back to base.
Welcome to XCOM HQ, Commander. I'm Central Officer Bradford. My role in this project is twofold: providing tactical support for our field operations, and keeping you briefed on the current situation. My efforts should allow you to focus on the bigger issues at hand. Speaking of which, we have a soldier waiting for a promotion in the barracks. I'll let you get to it.
The other issue with the game is that it doesn't always run the most smoothly, but I'll chalk that up to me playing this on a laptop. And it doesn't really bother me that much.
Dealing massive amounts of damage from afar, but without sufficient training, they're vulnerable in close combat situations.
I mean, it's like the between missions things can be a little bit laggy, a little bit buggy, but I don't really mind. I'm mostly in it for the gameplay, you know. So let's see. So sniper, support, and assault.
Just like it sounds, the support class provides that intangible edge our squads need. They make everyone around them better.
Commander to the research labs.
The assault class serves as our front line. They're the first ones into a fight, and the last ones out.
So one of the features in this game that was not, at least not explicitly in the original XCOM, is that each soldier has a designated soldier class. Each class is good at certain things and not so good at certain things. In a sense, it takes away from some of the...
Research labs. Commander to the research
Fine, I'll go to the research labs, just to get rid of that annoying
The
voice.
recovered artifacts are being unloaded, and the research team is waiting your orders. We'll get started as soon as you give the order, Commander. Hello, Commander. My name is Dr. Valen. I oversee the research labs. This is where all of XCOM's research and development takes place. We have already begun analyzing the artifacts recovered from our first encounter with the aliens. Based on our preliminary findings, we believe we can use them to develop some new equipment for our soldiers. With your approval, we will begin research immediately.
Alright, so, researching stuff. This is something that was in the original XCOM, although... it's pretty much exactly like it was in the original XCOM. You have things that you can research. Generally, on the original XCOM there were projects that didn't require you to have anything to research on, but that's not the case here. Even things like general weapons and armor research requires weapon fragments and alien alloys.
Commander to engineering.
Alright, so I'm going to start to develop these weapon fragments, and then...
That does seem to be the most pressing of our current research options. We'll begin immediately. I will notify you when a complete report is available.
Right, and since the voice is annoying me again, we're going right to engineering.
Ah, Commander. I was wondering when you'd be stopping by. Welcome to engineering. Anything they can dream up in the research labs, we can build it here. Speaking of which, Dr. Valen has just sent us some new schematics. With your approval, we will begin fabrication.
Okay, fabricate away. I actually do just want to make a medkit or two. I'll just make one for now.
Commander to mission control. Commander to mission control.
Every item has a minimum number of engineers that you need to make it. If you have more engineers than is required, then it actually becomes cheaper to make it. So, if you have something that's just going to be useful when you, like, later on, you might want to wait until you have some more engineers so that the project is cheaper. Like, right now I could make satellites, but I know that if I have more satellites, it costs a lot less to make... Rather, if I have more engineers, it costs a lot less to make... Yes. In the tutorial, there's a lot of nagging you around to do things. Fortunately, I'm pretty sure this is the only time in the proper game where the game is being all commander to research and commander to mission control. But let's see what they have to say. They have nothing to say, they just want me to scan for activity. Well, one moment. No, you're not gonna let me do much else, are you? Okay. Scan for activity. Alien abduction.
Commander, we've picked up multiple requests for assistance. Abductions in progress are marked on the hologlobe.
Okay, so we've got St. Petersburg, Russia, that'll give me scientists. Dallas, Texas, that'll give me $200, or Osaka, Japan, that will give me engineers. I guess I want to go for the engineers. Like I mentioned, making things is cheaper the more engineers you have, so, like, having money is great and all, but in the long term, having more engineers is going to save you a lot of money. So, to Osaka, Japan. Okay, and here's the squad we are taking with us. You are free to edit which people you're taking, like, say I don't like Recruit Morris's dumb face, I can clear him out and select someone else. Obviously, if someone takes damage during a fight, they are wounded for a few days, they're stuck in medbay, they can't come out. If someone dies, that's it. They're dead. They're not coming back. But so you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 units to start with. You can purchase more at the barracks for, I think, $10 per soldier. Generally not necessary unless you start losing a lot of guys. Let's go with Felix Lopez. I like that name. You look cool enough. You can also customize units, like... Oh, no, not dismiss, not dismiss. That's one of the people who are good. I don't want to dismiss them. XCOM has legal authority to rename every one of their soldiers, as well as change what race they have, what their voice is,
Good to go. Yes, Commander.
and what their face looks like. Alright, let me... Ooh, I actually kind of like that. Just let her stand out a little bit. I also have 2 little armor designs I can use. I actually kind of like this because especially when you add in the armor tint, it makes the units stand out a lot more, which is obviously impractical if this was like actual battle situations, but it can help to differentiate between your units at a glance. So I tend to go with color coding, like support white. And what's the other unit who I have? I have an assault. Assaults I go with yellow. So if I go into edit, I go to customize, and that, get them to 4. And rookies are stuck looking practical. So let's get this first proper mission out of the way, and then I guess I'll wrap that up for a first video.
We have visual on the mission site. Setting down.
You'll be heading into Japan for the next mission. We've picked up a local broadcast indicating alien activity within a major metropolitan area. We should get down there and eliminate any hostiles.
One of my friends is suggesting that I should put rookies in red, because, you know, Star Trek and everything. Anyway, touching down in Osaka, Japan.
Central, this is Big Sky. Strike team is touching down now. Standing by for your orders.
Roger, Big Sky. Reading you 5x5. Strike 1 has the green light for deployment.
I just realized that I forgot to actually give my support unit the medkit that I just bought. Whatever, I guess I'll show off how medkits work another time. The ability that she has as a support unit is the ability to lay down a smoke grenade. I can do this once per battle, and for 1 turn, it gives everyone within the radius of the smoke screen an extra bonus to cover. One of the upgrades later on for the support class lets you, allows you to have additional benefits from the smoke grenade. As I've said a few times by now, we'll get to that when we get to that. And next turn I'll show you what the support unit I have, what the assault unit I have can do, rather. But for now, everyone move up and everyone go into Overwatch. Never know when an alien is going to pop their ugly little head out. Okay, so here's how far I can see. And because you never know when an alien's going to pop their ugly little head out, you always want to stay in cover. And you always want to try to make sure you're going to be in the right kind of cover. Because obviously, like, if she's right here and an alien decides to pop up, like, right here, that cover is not exactly going to do anything for her. Okay, so the assault troop, what their basic ability is run and gun. This allows me to, if I activate it, it locks me out of doing anything other than shoot and Overwatch. However, it will allow me to do those even after having dashed, which is moved twice. So it's like, say I had, like this guy's also carrying a grenade. Like, he can't throw the grenade after running like that, but he can go into Overwatch. So it's very helpful because it lets you move up a bit further while also letting you stay in Overwatch mode, so that, you know, getting free shots at aliens. This is one of the situations where that thing I mentioned before, how you can sometimes hear the aliens, that can come really helpful. Like, I want to say, like, if I go, like, 5 turns and I don't see them, the game will helpfully point me towards the general direction of where they are, so that I'm not just searching blindly. Wonderful as an idea it seems to take cover behind these glowing alien pods that have some kind of gas coming out of them. They actually do make for very good cover when they're available, so I am not going to take that though, just because this seems like a better direction to be taking cover in. The downside, of course, to using running gun with an assault is that if you're trying to move up as a group, he gets ahead of the group. Okay, and Lopez, you just jump up here. When you don't know where the aliens are, you basically want to be as cautious as humanly possible. There we are.
What was that?
So those might not be the only aliens on the map, but I know that there are some aliens up over this way, so that's the direction I'm going to be taking cover in. What you might notice here is that there's a T-1 on my running gun. I can't do that every turn just to keep things balanced. There's a 2-turn cooldown. That's what the T means. The previous turn this was T-2, now it's T-1, and next turn I'll be able to use it again. And there's also aliens over that way, it seems. As is often the case, you find yourself fighting in multiple directions. Let's have... There they are. When aliens spot you, they basically get a free movement, which allows them to, depending on what type of alien they are, either scurry into cover or charge out at you. Well, those are the aliens I can see, so how about I focus on fighting off them for now. Generally speaking, aliens tend to be just as cautious as you are until they actually see you, so unless I accidentally catch the eye of the aliens that are over that way, they shouldn't bother me while I'm fighting these guys. If I do get their attention, however, then instead of fighting 2 aliens, I'm going to be fighting 4, which I don't exactly want to happen right now. And free shot.
Shot failed to connect.
Neither of them hit. Which, that'll happen pretty often, because reaction shots have a penalty to hit, actually. But it's still useful to be able to do them because of the odd time that you do score a hit. Oh dear, those are the ones over there, aren't they?
They got me flanked!
Well, that's not good, is it? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. If I move up here, I should be able to take a shot at that alien. Oh, taking reaction fire. Fortunately, he's just as lousy a shot as my troops are. Okay, let's see how you take bullet to the face.
Target down.
There's one down. Okay, where'd those other ones go? There's one of them. Okay, and this is where running gun comes in really handy. Assault units also, just by default, are armed with a shotgun. Oh dear, I've attracted the others on the map. Well, fortunately, that should be all 6 aliens on this map, so I shouldn't be seeing any more. Anyway, as I was saying, assault units by default are armed with a shotgun instead of the standard assault guns. These obviously have a better chance to hit the closer you are and are a bit more powerful than the standard assault rifles. The yellow shield on that alien means that he's in cover, but he's in a cover that doesn't matter to me. So that actually gives me a bonus to hit, because he's, like, hunkered down, but in plain sight. However, this one that's right next to me, I have a 98% chance to hit, so let's go ahead and take him out.
I'm about to start keeping score.
Simple, but effective. Okay, let's see. There's one over there, there's a few over that way, and there's this one over here. What to do, what to do? What can you do? If you get to cover there, how's your aim at that other alien? Because I have actually had situations where I had shotgun to the face like that, and it missed. It does happen, random number generators like that. There we are. Good shot, rookie. You get into Overwatch mode. Okay, so there should still be 3 aliens left if I'm counting right. And one of them's gone into Overwatch. Oh, and that one's mind melding. Or whatever the proper term for that is.
They're shifting their attack.
Okay, well, fortunately, I'm kind of flanking them at the same time that they're trying to flank me, so I should have a pretty good shot this one.
He's down.
2 more to go. Okay. One over there is in Overwatch mode, so I want to be moving carefully. Just for the record, most units, when they're in Overwatch mode, will only take a shot if an alien moves. There are some cases with specific soldier abilities where they can take shots at aliens when they fire as well as when they move.
Got him.
But that was safe to do, so there should just be the one left. The one that just scampered into that boxcar there. And you are in the wrong type of cover, my good sir. Not that my wimpy human guns are good enough to stop you this turn, though. Let's see, who else is nearby? Doesn't I have someone there? If I move you there, can you see him? Evidently not. Alright, you move to that train then. Okay, so I'm attacking him from several angles at this point, so... Wow, he really is a lousy shot. Put him out of his misery, will you? Actually, I should probably let a rookie get the shot. This is his homeland, after all. 100% chance to hit. Always like to see that.
Bye-bye.
And that's that. Operation Vengeful Rain completed. Love the randomly generated mission names. You get hilarious stuff sometimes like that. And then we fly back to base.
An exemplary performance. Let's hope all of these operations go as smoothly as this one did.
Yeah, so both my rookies got promoted, and both of them are heavy.
The specialist provides a crucial service to the squad. With the rocket launcher in tow, there are demolitions experts.
Heavy weapons get rocket launcher. Once per mission, they can fire a rocket at terrain, and they also get a heavier gun that, I believe it's not quite as accurate, but it does more damage. When you're researching new weapons, you actually have to research a version of the weapon for the heavy weapons and a version of the weapons for the sniper in addition to the standard versions of stuff. But in any case, both of these guys are heavies.
Commander to the Situation Room. Commander to the Situation Room.
And I can build workshops now. And I got my engineers.
We will be in touch, Commander.
I guess we can check out what's in the Situation Room before we head out.
Every member of the Council is going to want satellite coverage, so we should plan our deployments carefully.
Okay, so this is satellites. If you have satellite coverage of a nation, then if a UFO passes into it, you can spot it and try to take it down. You also get money per month based on which country it is. Like, the United States and Russia give quite a bit of money, whereas Brazil doesn't give quite as much. If I go to Egypt or South Africa, they don't give quite as much. Mexico doesn't give as much.
We'll monitor that contact, but I don't think it's related to the UFO activity.
Also, when you launch the satellite, it reduces the panic level in that country. So, let's say the United States is at 3 right now. If I launch the satellite, it'll go down. Also, based on which continent group the country is in, you get a bonus. I already have one in Germany, so if I launched one to France, I would get the second tier of Europe's bonuses. And if you have full coverage of a nation, like I mentioned before, you get the bonus for that nation. I already have Europe, so I started there, but...
Reports are clear.
So anyway, let's launch our satellite to the United States. And it's going to tell me that...
Facilities at maximum capacity. Additional uplink required.
There are no interceptors stationed. So let's go to the hangar. I have 2 interceptor ships. Let's move one to North America.
Here, you can arrange to have our interceptors transferred to bases throughout the world. By stationing our fleet on various continents, we'll have a much better chance of intercepting new UFO contacts in those areas.
You're only allowed to send out one interceptor at a time. However, because they will take damage, it can be useful to have backups in a given nation. You can have up to 4 ships stationed in a different nation. You can also have different weapons setups for taking out different types of UFOs, I guess. And with that, I think I will call that a video. See you all next time.